A point has. Excellent choice. Zero dimension is the right answer.
BC stands for.
You got it. Your choice body-centered cubic is right.
Unit cell may contain.
Right choice. Atoms, molecules, and ions is the best answer.
X-rays are scattered by.
Good thinking. The electrons is the right answer.
Simple cubic has atoms at. Clear logic. Your choice corners is sound and 100% true. Simple cubic cell contains.
Exactly. One atom makes sense, and it is right choice. Crystal lattice is formed by.
Solid response. Several unit cells is a valid choice.
When was Bragg's law proposed?
Valid point. 1913 is true.
What is not found in unit cell?
Good job. Your answer, whole crystal works well here. Wrong statement for a crystal. Correct response. Surrounded by irregular faces is the most accurate answer. Sharp melting point is found in.
Bravo! Crystalline materials is the answer.
Simple cubic cell has per unit cell. Correct. One atom is the right answer. Amorphous solids have dash structure. Right again. Irregular is a valid answer. Notation of any glide plane indicates. Well reasoned. Direction of translation is the correct choice. How many planes does a tetragonal have? Great thinking. 5 p.m. is the right choice. The glide plane is a symmetry element of. Excellent. Space groups is a brilliant choice. The diffraction of X-rays is explained by. Nice selection. Bragg's law is the correct and valid answer. Number of atoms in a simple cubic cell is. Smart pick. 1 is the correct choice. The crystal lattice has a dash arrangement. Sharp thinking. 3-dimensional is the right choice. In space crystals, atoms are represented as. Nice work. You chose points and it is correct. Number of atoms per unit cell is greater in. You chose face-centered cubic and it is correct. M2 class is equivalent the following class. Great job. is the accurate answer. In simple cubic structure, atoms are placed at. Smart move. Corners of cube is an accurate answer. What is the scratch streak color of hematite? Strong choice. Reddish-brown is the right answer. Which crystal system has the highest symmetry? On track. Cubic is the correct answer. In crystalline materials, atoms are arranged in. Perfect. Regular way is the correct choice. Select the process in which Bragg's law is used. You're right. X-ray crystallography is the correct answer. In simple cubic structure, each atom is shared by. Well picked. 8 cells is the correct answer. Number of atoms in a body-centered cubic cell is. Well done. 2 is the right choice. What is the scale used to measure mineral hardness? Nicely done. Mohs scale is a solid answer. The smallest portion of the lattice is known as dash. Perfect.
Unit cell is the correct choice.
X-ray crystallography is based on the scattering of. Excellent. X-rays by electrons is a brilliant choice. The atomic packing fraction of Fc crystal is. Solid response 74% is a valid choice. How many crystal systems are there in crystallography?
Good thinking. 7 is the right answer.
Number of atoms in face-centered cubic per unit cell is.
Great thinking. 4 is the right choice.
Which has highest atomic packing factor among mentioned? Nice selection. Face-centered cubic is the correct and valid answer. The equivalent crystal class for the space group pK21 is. Valid point. Mem2 is true. Which of the following is correct predictor of rainbow color? Great job. Vibja is the accurate answer. Relation between radius of atom and size of cube is?
Strong choice. A equal to 2 is the right answer.
Archimedes' law is one method used to determine dash mineral.
Exactly. Specific gravity makes sense, and it is right choice.
What is the name of the quartz mineral that has a pink color? You're right. Rose quartz is the correct answer. How many crystallographic axes does a monoclinic crystal system have?
Bravo. 3 is the answer.
Combination of rotation and inversion can be found in the symmetry of a.
Smart move. All of them is an accurate answer.
Which mineral property describes the way light interacts with a mineral?
Correct. Optical properties is the right answer.
How many classes have a center of symmetry among the 32 symmetry classes?
Correct response. 11 is the most accurate answer.
If A equal to side of cubical cell and R equal to radius of atom, then for simple cubic cell?
Well picked. A equal to 2 is the correct answer.
Which of the following electromagnetic radiation is involved in Bragg's law?
Right choice. X-rays is the best answer.
Which mineral property describes the color of a mineral when it is powdered?
Good job. Your answer streak works well here.
A unit cell that contains lattice points only at the corners is known as dash.
Nicely done. Primitive unit cell is a solid answer.
Which of the following scattering of waves is observed in Bragg's experiment?
Nice work. You chose Rayleigh scattering and it is correct.
Dash means a three-dimensional array of points coinciding with atom positions.
On track. Lattice is the correct answer.
Which crystal system has 3 axes of equal length that intersect at 120 degrees?
Right again. Hexagonal is a valid answer.
Which mineral property describes the tendency of a mineral to break along preferred planes?
Sharp thinking. Cleavage is the right choice.
Which technique would be most appropriate to indicate the three-dimensional structure of a molecule? You chose X-ray crystallography, and it is correct.
Which structure is this?
You got it. Your choice diamond is right. The lattice belongs to the dash. Clear logic. Your choice triclinic crystal system is sound and 100% true. This is a graphic representation of a crystal class. Smart pick. Paternal uncle is the correct choice. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format? Well reasoned. Contact Narayan Changda is the correct choice.